Good morning and welcome to this week's Small Business Town Hall. I'm glad to join you here once again. So we have some conversations about what's happening with our business community and what resources are available. I'm Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos, and I'm glad to be here with all of you. Make sure that you let your friends and family know about this opportunity to learn about resources available to the small business community. As always, every other week, we get together to talk with the directors that have the latest details about what's happening. And as you know, we always start our conversation with the director of the Small Business Administration, Director Mark Hayward, who always have good information about what's happening from the federal government when it comes to support to our small business community. So let's bring to the conversation, Director Hayward. Director Hayward, how things are going?
Hello, Governor. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for having me on. I know we've had a little bit of a hiatus, but it's been a very busy time here at SBA, and I want to personally thank you for coming to Small Business Week last week for bringing the greetings of the state of Rhode Island to our 300 people that attended Small Business Week. And I can't tell you how excited our winners were. And as you well know, I just want to once again, go on the SBA website, everybody, and look at the winners. They are the stories, Governor, that they conveyed to everybody there. I don't think we had one winner that got up there without at least shedding a couple of tears. To talking about how they got through COVID was just amazing. And our small business person of the year, who also got his award from Washington, is the Riddle Room. Byron Sheldon Delmonico. And I keep saying, Governor, we need to put like maybe some people from the legislature in the room to see if they can get out. We want to put the SBA people in that room to see if they can get out. And I will guarantee you, if we put the lenders in that room, they'll never get out.
I have to say, that was such an amazing event. I enjoy every single one of the stories of the winners. Like every single one was just an amazing story of resiliency and hard work, and also how they highlight and praise their team for the work, and also the institutions that supported them throughout the pandemic. How they acknowledged some of the banks and credit unions that supported them. It was an amazing event, so thank you.
Some of the interesting things, certainly the Riddle Room, who their institution was Navigant Credit Union, and he thanked them profusely. Dr. Mark Torek, who banks at Bank Newport. But I think the interesting thing about a lot of stuff that, we do write about them, but the little things that, that really came across, Governor, Dr. Torek talking about, he was so excited to open up a second location, and he signed the documents at the end of January in 2020, and then everything fell through. And then he couldn't get any of the materials, and he ended up building the entire office out himself. I mean, it just shows you the initiative that these people, these individuals have. I thought it was a great one. Our young entrepreneurs got up and he talked about, which was Alexa and Emery. And Emery talked about a 1987 van. And I'm standing right there. I'm saying, look at me. I'm from 1955. I must be vintage. I must be an antique.
The funny thing is, when you introduced him and you mentioned that his mother is Michelle, I'm like, oh my God, that's Michelle's kid already.
It's interesting. But, and Regional Administrator Mike Vlasic is coming back, Governor. We're going to go to all of our Small Business Week winners just to kind of see them in their own place. And the other one, Kelly McShane from Granny Squibb down in Westerly. That was a true story. I called to congratulate her, and she said, I need to hang up on you and I will call you back. I need to call my mother. But it's just the excitement they had over Small Business Week. So, Governor, thank you so much for coming and staying and listening to the stories and taking pictures with the winners. It really was. I really do. I owe you a lot because it meant so much to them.
That was the highlight of my day, let me tell you, being there and sharing with them. Thanks.
The great thing about the Rhode Island District Office is trying to be an overachiever. So we started with the congressional breakfast with Senator Reid, Senator Whitehouse, and Congressman Cicilline, and all of our winners got the opportunity in their family in a very small setting to talk to them and just kind of share stories. And then the following morning, we actually had a lenders meeting where 75 of our lenders here in Rhode Island, we gave them the latest and the greatest of what's going on with SBA and how they need to maneuver that. We've rolled into the event, the luncheon, and then of course on the following day we brought everybody to the House of Representatives, and they were just so thrilled that many of them have never been there. But anyway, thank you very much. So that's the good side of what I have to say. I also have to tell everybody that the EIDL program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, is now complete. There are no more funds, and we do realize that there are a lot of people who were in process during this whole asking either for increases to the original loan that they got. Unfortunately, if you were not funded or didn't have documents to fund at the time that it closed last Friday, then there is no more money. So if you do have documents that says that you must close your loan, and these are documents that individual small businesses have, there are some, they need to do that before May 16th because that portal is going to be brought down, Governor. So if you are in the portal, you need to complete those documents. Now, having said that, we know that there are a lot of people who are still in need of additional funds. And at this point in time, the agency has completely exhausted all of the funds we have in the EIDL program. I'm not sure exactly. I think it was $580 billion, which was exhausted. But if people are looking for solutions or they have questions about what should they do next, there are microloans, there are community advantage loans, there are certainly bank loans, and I realize they're not grants, but they are loans. But we can help work with your institutions or work with institutions that would be willing to take a look at it, Governor. And we know that the need is still out there, but we're monitoring that. Ben just put up Rhode Island _DO at SBA.gov. Send it to that website. We will distribute it to the staff, and we will do the best we possibly can. The last thing I wanted to mention, Governor, is that there's still technical assistance available. Technical assistance does not cost a small business anything. Our friends at the Small Business Development Center or at SCORE, at the Women's Center, are willing to help you along the way. And I always say, businesses don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. Here's an opportunity. If you have some obstacles you need to get over, definitely Diane Fonaris and Jim Muchler from SCORE. They do great services, and we'll get you over that. And if you don't ask, you're never going to get assistance. So we do recommend, Governor, that people do that.
That is correct. There's a lot of resources available. Just have to make sure that you ask in just get in contact. Just seeing all of the different organizations that were present at the award last week. And there's a lot of resources out there. Make sure you let us know what you're looking for. My office can help you make the connections to the right resource also. There's a lot of resources available. You're right,
Governor. We have we work with 10,000 small businesses. We work with Commerce RI. We work with everybody because we want to get everybody to the right church and the right pew and get what you need. And I think that's really critical. And you have been a leader in that. And I really do appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. It's really a pleasure working with you and everything that you do to bring resources back to the state of Rhode Island. So we're very appreciative of the work that you do. So thank you so much.
And on the next report, I will have all of our updates to show you because we're making regular loans and they're going off the ceiling. So
all right, so we're going to know which community is winning, which one of the 39 cities and towns is on top right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Cranston. And I know you didn't want to hear that. Cranston is number 1. Providence is number 2. Warwick is number 3.
All right. Okay. Well, they're doing something right in Cranston. So
they are.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Director. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Take care. Wow, this was great information in the air. So a reminder, so we have 39 cities and towns, and Cranston has been number one in accessing the resources available through the SBA. So make sure that you contact also Director Hayward and get that information. So next, we're going to hear from DLT, the Department of Labor and Training, and we have Director Matt Weldon with us. Director Weldon, how's things going at DLT?
Things are fine, Governor. How are you?
Good. So good to see you.
It's good to be here, as always. So let's talk for a minute about job training. For a long time after the recession, we heard about the skills gap and people couldn't find qualified individuals. And we introduced the Real Jobs Rhode Island program and changed the way that job training works to allow employers and industry associations to make their own decisions about job training and to come up with ideas through a partnership model, which means it's not usually a single employer, but it's an employer, maybe an industry association, maybe higher education institution or a community-based organization, and they get together and find solutions to these problems. We've been doing that for years. It's gone very well. In January or so, we put out a new solicitation to invite new people to become partners or to renew existing partnerships.
Yeah.
We did that. They came back in. We just read all of them and rated all of them. And we last week notified all the ones going forward, which was almost all of them, that we are going to offer you the opportunity to become a partner. Now, this sounds a little strange, but that doesn't mean it comes with money yet. Because what we said was, we think you have a good idea. Now we have to talk about the details, and we'll figure out, what we can do. And as I've said before, your budget, the governor's budget, has money in for real jobs, for job training. We need that to go forward. Without that, we'll have very little, and we'll have to spread that money out as far as we can. With that, we'll have far more opportunities to help people. And just to put it to scale, during the pandemic, using CARES Act money, we put about $45 million out and helped about 10,000 people. So that's a big, project over a short period of time. We can do similar things, and hopefully with the federal grant opportunities and the governor's budget and everything else, we'll be talking about good job training opportunities for years to come. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Next, we will put out again a solicitation for small grants, like $20,000 or less, just so people can get together and help build out ideas. And that's like a foot in the door, a step in the right direction. We'll do that in the next month or two so we can keep working with new groups. As I go out and talk to people in the community and I talk about this great resource, it's no good if they don't have access to it. And so we've changed the way that we do it. We're giving more access, and I think it's going to work out well. On a separate note, in unemployment, I've been spending some time talking about how employers engage with unemployment. Throughout the pandemic, we've been really heavily focused on claimants and making sure that we can get money out into the community. And we did that. We put $4 billion out into the community throughout the pandemic. Now I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that employers have good access to the programs as well. The one takeaway for today is, if an employer gets a notice from DLT that they have a claim filed against them, they should know a couple of things. Employers don't have individual accounts at DLT. We don't have bank accounts for every employer. We have a big trust fund, and an employer, let's say it was I own my own business, then Weldon Enterprises would have, a line item essentially, and we would check off every time somebody filed and collected against me, and we would keep a balance, but there's no actual account. So when employers contact me and say, "You're taking money out of my account," it doesn't work exactly that way, but we want to be accessible. We want to make sure they know that they can raise those concerns. So what I tell them to do is go to dlt.ri.gov. Ben has it right up on the page now. There is a tab that's called For Employers. Under that tab, there's a sub-tab that says unemployment charges or unemployment insurance charges, employer charges, something like that. Click on it. There's information there. And most important is there's a form called a protest form. That form says I can protest charges against me. I can say that employee shouldn't be collecting for this reason. Because we know unemployment is when someone is out of work due to no fault of their own. But if they quit, or if they were fired for cause and they tell us they were laid off, then we're going to move forward and wait for that employer to get back to us. But we can't wait forever. And so the employer needs to contact us. They need to return the information and to tell us this is not a case where somebody should be collecting. It's important. And I'm going to do more and more to make sure people know how to do that well. The other way to do it is through an email at dlt.protest, protest, @dlt.ri.gov. if you fill out the form, it populates into an email work stream, and we're caught up on those real time. So we're going to access it pretty quickly. Please reach out to us so we can help you. The last piece of it is, even if it goes forward, you always have the right to appeal decisions. Take a look at the notices that you get in the mail and appeal the decision. Be heard. Please participate in the process so we can help you. Workshare. We're still at 50 employers, so that's good.
I was going to ask that question.
Of course you are, and I come prepared. So 50 is great. That will probably go down as the economy continues to improve, because again, it's meant to be a temporary program. But if anybody ever has questions about Workshare, go ahead and check out the information on the web. Reach out to us. We'll surely point you in the right direction and help you. Our goal is to get everybody set up with a plan. We're not here to deny you. We're here to set you up. We just it's a federal program. I spent a lot of time talking to the federal government about the rules and how Rhode Island implements the rules. We're very happy to help you. We know how to do it. Let us offer that help. And finally, in the unemployment space, one of the ways that I want to go forward is to maybe leverage this group and to talk about and have maybe a public discussion and maybe an offline discussion about would it be beneficial to use a free web-based system to communicate in real time with DLT about unemployment charges. There is a federal program that's available. In the past, we didn't push it because I didn't think it was a very strong program, and I lobbied against it in my own department. Now I think it's much better. They've refined it over the years. It's my mission now to make sure I get into it and test it, see if it works well, and then to bring it to this group and say, hey, anybody want to test this out and see if it works? I'm all about getting customer feedback.
Yes.
And if you tell me it works, then you can see in real time, and we no longer have to mail things back and forth to one another. So we're looking for ways to improve. I'm open to your suggestions. I'm accessible. If you reach out, especially go through the Lieutenant Governor's office, they will get me, and I will absolutely respond and talk to anybody anytime if I can be helpful.
Thank you, Director. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the work that you do and all the information that you provide. Now, something that I wanted to put in for maybe the next time we get together is I've been getting more questions about youth employment and what are the proper ages and what are the resources available. So maybe for the next time we can talk about youth employment next time in 2 weeks when we get together again.
You got it, Gov.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Director, for participating today and for that good information. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, so now we're gonna turn to our special guest. So as you know, Chris Parisi is a new dad, and he is not here with us today. He's taking care of that beautiful baby, and we wish him the best and for him and his family. He's gonna be back with us soon, but in the meantime, he's probably trying to catch up in some sleeps right now. But we do have a special guest with us today. We have a guest from the town of Charleston are here with us, and we're gonna have three people that are gonna be joining us. One is the town administrator, Mark Stanwischke. And Mark, you gotta forgive me, you gotta help me in here. I get Matos, so I feel your pains.
Mark is fine.
Mark, thank you. Then we have also the town council president, Deborah Carney. Deborah, my people, as you know, I have a background being in the city council, so I understand the challenges that you go through. And we also have the Charleston Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, Heather Paliota. Heather, thank you so much, the three of you, for joining us today. And I know the busy season is starting right now for Charleston. I had the pleasure of meeting Mark at the Umbrella Factory and experiencing all the great things that happen there. I know that this is the time when things are starting to get really busy for all of you. So I want to hear from you. How do you prepare? What's going on? So why don't we start with Mark? Mark?
Well, we have two major events that happen through the course of the year at Ninigret Park. One is the Seafood Festival, which is hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. And then this year, we had lost it for a while, but it came back, Rhythm and Roots, which is on Labor Day weekend. And of course, with the weather getting better, it is going to be beach season. And so we have to gear up with our two beaches that are administered by the town, Charlestown Beach and San Ferretti Blue Shutters Beach. So we're in the process now, lifeguards, parking attendants, all that work that has to be done. And in addition, we have an influx of tourists. Our town almost more than doubles during the tourist season. And so we have particular issues that we have to keep an eye on with public safety, those types of things. But Charlestown has been doing this for probably 75 or close to 100 years. So it becomes routine after a while. The only blip we had was with COVID a couple of years ago, which kind of made things a little challenging, but we did manage to get through that as well. Hopefully this will be a less COVID season and more people can get out and recreate. And that's what Charlestown is known for. It's recreation.
Thank you. So we're going to add to the chat the information about the Seafood Festival and the other activities that are going on to make sure that people can have access to that information. I want to ask now the council president, how is the council getting ready for this season? What are the things that you are prioritizing when it comes to economic development and support to the small business community?
Well, so right now, as Mark said, we're getting ready for the busy tourist season in town. Our Parks and Rec department is actively preparing for beach season, training the lifeguards, getting the personnel ready to go. As Mark said, we've got the two main events coming up, the Seafood Festival, which is a huge event in Charlestown, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, and Heather is on with us for later. And also Rhythm and Roots is coming back. We also have other small events going on in town throughout the course of the summer. The Parks and Rec department does a summer concert series and movie nights. So people are more than welcome to attend those events. As we are tourists, we like to get people into town. We have like the bait and tackle businesses and kayaks and anything recreation related, outdoors related to the beach and the ponds. We try to give those businesses as much support as we can, during the course of the summer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Heather, can you tell us more about the preparations for the Seafood Festival and the other activities going on?
Sure. Can I promote one other thing first, though?
Sure, go ahead.
So, 19 days will be our 20th annual Memorial Day Parade in Charlestown. We haven't had it in 2 years, so we're excited to have that. It's May 29th at 1 o'clock. It kicks off down Old Post Road. We stop at 3 spots, the air, the land, and the sea, to honor the fallen. It's a great parade. So, everybody come on down and sit on the sidelines and cheer us all on. So that one is,
Great.
like I said, May 29th. The Seafood Festival is our big one. 37 years this year. I've been doing it 21 years. It's my baby. It's the best event in Rhode Island, I think. But so that one is August 5th, 6th, and 7th. Pretty much sold out. All my seafood vendors, all my food vendors, and all my craft vendors. If you go onto the website, www.charlestownseafoodfestival.com, all the entertainment lineups there. We have fireworks, a carnival. So yeah, it's a huge, huge event for Charlestown. So we're excited about that.
Thank you. We have been adding the information to the chat and to make sure that everyone that is watching this can go there. And also we can share the link after, and the information is going to be there also in the chat of the Zoom, of the Facebook Live with those details. Feel free to add any additional information that we should share in the chat. So because that's going to stay with the recording. So anyone that is watching it can go on there and see it. I just wanted to ask you, I know that this summertime is when everything gets really busy and there are a lot of activities going on. How did you prepare in the off season? What are the things that happen, or did you take the off season just to relax and get your energy back, getting ready for this season?
Are you talking to me?
Either one of you. Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, we're trying to do more events for the off season. We do a holiday ramble at Christmas time. It's the first this year. I'm hoping to do it Friday and Saturday. It's a shop local in Charlestown. We have carolers, Santa Claus, So yeah, we do that. I don't know. We stay busy in the off season,
The whole
Charlestown.
season.
The locals keep us going.
Good.
We have great restaurants. We have some new businesses, new owners. Actually, we have new owners of the General Stanton Inn, new owners of Hathaway's Guest Cottages. We have a new deli that's opening up, and we have new owners of the bait shop. So yeah, we keep it going. It is quiet, but we keep it going.
Right. Thank you. What about you, Mark? Any particular thing that you do during the off season that you think people should know about? People from Rhode Island that may want to know about?
Activities during the off seasons. I mean, some
Yeah.
of the things Heather mentioned, the holiday ramble. There's also a bonfire that they have for New Year's Eve at the park, and that draws about 3,000 people. Our Parks and Recs department continually has programs throughout the year, and the typical ones you would see in most communities: Easter egg hunts. They have walks. They have runs. And we have other facilities for tennis, basketball. Pickleball seems to be a very popular one now, and we're getting a lot of constituent calls about pickleball and more courts, and striping, and so forth. So that kind of activity still goes on year in and year out. One thing we didn't mention is that at Charlestown, we have one of the few observatories in the state, Frosty Drew Observatory. And they have programs mainly every Friday night where you can go and observe whatever particular celestial events are occurring. I went a few years ago and saw Saturn, and it's exciting to have something like that so close that you can just drive to.
That is great. I wasn't aware of that. This is another good resource that we should share. And Council President, you want to add something?
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to put in a plug for all of our local restaurants. We have some delicious eating establishments in town, so we encourage people to come on down. We also have some really great different retail shops. As you stated earlier, the Umbrella Factory, definitely unique experience. All kinds of little shops in there to visit. All throughout town, we have our traditional village district, the business district, which has businesses along Route 1A, which is a neat little shops down there. There's the bait and tackle shop. There's places to rent kayaks and canoes. Just come on down and see everything that we have. Look in all the nooks and crannies. We got a neat little bookstore that does a few different things in there, and they also promote local artists' work, paintings and furniture and other type of retail items. So neat little places to come down and check out. So come on down and see what we've got.
Charlestown's the hidden gem.
Yes.
Wow, great. So I'm going to take you on that invitation, and I'm really going to reach out so I can do a tour of your this business district.
I'll put in one more plug for Nanegrit Park too. We also have a new outdoor exercise area not far from the pickleball and tennis courts, which I don't know very many other places in Rhode Island that offer that. So free outdoor exercise equipment. There's ellipticals and there's the cornhole and ping pong and all sorts of other things to do over there. So like I say, come on down, see everything that we've got.
Wow, I think I'm going to take my whole team, the whole office, we're going to come down to Charleston.
Come on down and exercise.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today and sharing the information. We are going to make sure that we let everyone know about everything that's happening in Charleston. I'm so looking forward to being down there with all of you. So I'm going to make sure to schedule this visit to the business district as soon as possible. Thank you to the three of you for being here today. Just if you have any final word before we sign off.
I was just to say thank you for inviting us to this forum today, and let us know when you're coming down. We'll meet you out there.
I will let you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was nice to meet you the first time and show you the Umbrella Factory with Councilor Clarkin, and I'm sure you had a good time. And pack your bags and come on down and visit us.
And I hope to see you. I know you're probably busy during the parade, but come to the Seafood Festival.
Oh, I'm going to be there. I really want to be going to the parade. I want to go to the Seafood Festival. So you're going to see a lot of me down there. So thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining. This was a great show today in which we were able to learn more about what's happening on Charleston. in the chat. Make sure that you take a look at all the information. We have all the links in there about all the different programs that we talk about during today's broadcast. So make sure that you come down to Charleston. It's beautiful. It's one of those great places of Rhode Island that some of us sometimes don't get to spend as much time as we would like to. But I assure you, if you go there, you're going to enjoy every moment of it, right? So thank you for joining us. I just want to do a final reminder to everyone. I want to remind everyone that, as you know, there has been some more COVID numbers going up. So if you have not gotten your vaccination, please make sure you do so. If you need to get a booster shot, please do so, because we are not completely out of the pandemic yet. And we have to take our precautions. Make sure you wash your hands frequently. If you are in a crowded place, please wear a mask if you are in a crowded place, especially if you're not feeling well. If you're not feeling well, you should stay home. But if you have to go out, please make sure to wear a mask to protect yourself and protect all your loved one and everyone around you. Thank you again for joining us today. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with another episode of this broadcast of the Small Business Town Hall. And we're going to hear more about the resources available for the small business community. Enjoy.